Welcome. My name is Kinetic Symphony. I'm a narrator focusing on glitch in the Matrix stories. Let's get into it. Story title: I think I just became the background character for another person's glitch. Author name: TheKarmaDontMatter. This technically happened last night, but I was just starting a graveyard shift and I'm only now getting it all down. I work at a gas station chain with only numbers in its name. We're just outside of a large chunk of suburbs, none of that middle of nowhere stuff. Like, we aren't exactly near any other businesses, but we are rarely completely dead for hours at a time. It was just past midnight, and with everything going on in the US right now, not a lot besides gas stations and bars are open anymore at night, so it was a slower evening. I was the only one in the store, and a car pulled up to one of the two double-sided pumps out front. Pretty standard white 4-door. I'm not great with car brands, but it was a little nicer, like upper middle class and probably only a few years old. A woman gets out and starts walking towards our door, like she's in a daze. Legitimately, this woman looked like she saw a ghost. She wanders up, sort of freezes at the door for a second, with a 1,000-yard stare before opening it and coming in. She didn't go looking for anything, didn't start shopping, just sort of stood inside for what felt like ages. Again, the bars are still open, so I think, well, maybe she's just a little drunk, or had a rough night or something, so I give the usual, "Welcome to gas station. Let me know if you need any help finding anything." And she finally notices me, and immediately asks me the weirdest damn question I have ever been asked on the job. "You can see me, right?" "Yeah? Like, what else would you say?" She breaks down crying in the middle of the store, so I'm already heading around the corner to see what's up. I have my cell phone out in case I need to call the cops or something for her. I get her to sit down on a nearby pallet of soda, and I'm grabbing her a bottle of water. After she catches her breath a little, she tells me, "I thought I had died." Again, I'm thinking maybe she's on something, but she's a middle-aged woman who looks like a standard local suburban housewife. We're a pretty boring township without your average junkies like you'd find closer to the cities. She asks if she can call her husband to pick her up, and also wait with me in the meanwhile. She has her own phone and does so, not really telling him anything either, just where she's at and if he can come get her. He says he'll call an Uber and be there as soon as possible. We're waiting, and so far nobody else has showed up, so I'm keeping most of my attention on her, and eventually she starts to explain to me. "I was driving home from dinner with my coworkers, and as I'm driving through nearby intersection I recognized, a truck ran a red light and hit me." Now, her car is still at the pump without a scratch on it. She goes on to say she remembers her car being pushed into a pole, going airborne, and then nothing. I tried to calm her down, letting her know that her car is out front and it looks just fine. But she insisted that she completely blacked out, woke up in an ambulance for a split second, passed out again, and then woke up again in the driver's seat of her car, at the intersection, waiting for the light to change, and feeling physically perfectly fine. This whole thing freaked her out so badly that she drove to the nearest anything, us, just so she could get out of the car. The husband eventually showed up to get her. He asked if I have any idea what happened, and even though she sort of explained to me, I just shrugged because, no, I had no idea what was happening anymore. She reluctantly got into the passenger seat of the car, and he drove them back home. That was hours ago, after which I worked an entire shift at the station trying to wrap my head around what the absolute hell I had just witnessed. Personal thoughts. This is frequently the case in all of the quantum immortality glitches. Honestly, at this point, it's such a common experience that I just want to call it a feature of reality, where the person who dies remembers that they died, how they died, even the sounds, smells, the pain involved. One story, remember there was a crash, the person felt their bones shatter. That's disconcerting to be sure. So it's like our soul transposes into an alternate reality and survives there, but brings with it the memories from the reality that they came from, even up to their death. It's just incredible to think about, really. I'm not exactly religious either, honestly. When I say soul, I mean in a spiritual context, like an inexplicable context. It's like trying to find a word really that is more like our essence, the core of what we are. Are we just meat and bones, or is there more to us? It's that mental exercise thinking, who were we and how did we come to be before we existed, before we were born? Because in that state of nothingness, really, what is that? It'd be the same thing as dying. You would return to that same nothingness, if there really is a nothingness. Maybe it really is just reincarnation in a sense, but jumping from reality to reality that most closely matches ours. Or maybe it's just our base code being uploaded to a new server. And that concludes the story for tonight. I know you loved it. Leave a like, and subscribe on up for more interesting stories like these. I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. EST. I'll see you there.